I know that Barbara, you and I are not the same people that we were last, February or March, and that we've been thinking a lot about, how we want to emerge and show up for ourselves and one another and our clients and friends and the women in the Women's Forum. But not only in the next, couple of months or 3 months, but, even, through that and even longer, what has this pandemic taught us? How do we want to convey our brand and show up?
We want to make sure there's so many lessons that we've learned. Let's not just step back into default, but to be really more intentional with what we want to do and who we want to now evolve into. We're so delighted to welcome back Lisa Geo, a certified creative mindset and brand coach for ambitious executives and entrepreneurs who want more creativity, joy, and agency in their lives. Who doesn't? Nancy and I had the opportunity to join one of Lisa's virtual retreats in April, so we've had a little head start here. And Lisa, I'm going to turn it over to you. Will you please help us along this path to emerge from the pandemic in a way that serves us best?
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me, and thank you for coming and spending some time with us this afternoon. So I am also a fan of chatting during Zoom sessions. So humor me and let me know. On a scale from 1 to 10, with 1 being, I am going to miss all this alone time. I'm going to miss being home, having time to myself, all those going inward moments of quarantine. Or 10, get me out of the house this instant. I don't care. Sign me up for all the things. Where are you on the scale from 1 to 10? Got some 10s, 6s, 4s, couple 4s, couple, I see a 3, right? A lot of kind of in the middle. Yeah. We're kind of in the middle. And I get it, right? There are a lot of mixed emotions right now, right in the middle. A friend of mine sent me an article by Adam Grant that was in the New York Times earlier this month. And he talked about the feeling in between flourishing and being depressed. And it is called languishing. And it's the middle ground where you feel kind of blah. You don't have a lot of energy. You're bored. You're listless. You're not burnt out or hopeless or depressed. But in his words, he said, you have a sense of stagnation and emptiness, feeling like you're muddling through your days or looking through life through this foggy windshield. And I can put my hands up because that was me too. I had many moments of feeling listless and bored, but there's also like an unease or nervousness. So I'm swinging right up and down that scale right there with you. And it's important to notice where you are landing on this scale, because unless you're committed to feeling a certain way or showing up a certain way, we're going to be led by this languishing, right? When you feel blah, then you're going to attract more blah moments. And for me, feeling blah and listless, I always tend to end up on the couch watching The Vampire Diaries, that series from, it was like early 2000s. I've made it halfway through season 1. There's like 24 seasons, 24 episodes just in season 1 alone. So my invitation to you is to notice how you feel and then take responsibility for how you want to feel. And this is important because when you come from that place of languishing or making choices based on just your day-to-day feelings, it's going to distract you from your creativity, your personal growth, your intentions, and how you really want to be in your personal and professional leadership. You are going to attract the feelings that you put out there. And so when you're not in flow with that, what I call magnetic leadership, you're going to attract more blah. So this is a beautiful place to start and notice as I begin to share with you 3 strategies, easy ones, 3 strategies that you can take away and start to practice today. In fact, I actually want you to take on the third practice and book it in your calendar right after this session. So the 3 ways that we are going to take a look at, first, we're going to affirm why you are here. We're going to look at how to be in flow. And then we're going to redefine your routine. So you guys, I'm betting you can see my screen over here. I pulled this up, your clear vision. We're going to touch on the very first element of developing your clear vision today. It's always dead center in how I like to work with my clients. We do the inner mindset work first before we build strategies for personal branding or thought leadership, how you want to show up professionally in the world. We start in the center. And also notice the language I'm using here. I am here too. I am here too. That's going to show up here in this first way that we can actually choose how we want to emerge from the pandemic. So as I mentioned, this is my clear visioning concept. It's actually an acronym. The C stands for clear concept. And these are some questions you can start to consider. What's your intention, right? In the chat, once again, let's pop over to the chat. Let's imagine that it is December 31st, 2021. So about 6.5, 7 months from now. How would you know that these upcoming 6 months have been a success for you? How would you feel if the next 6 months have been a success for you? What feeling is present for you? Pop that into the chat and let's see what comes up. Connection, energized, yes. Accomplished, tranquil, grounded, success, empowerment, focused, energy, nice. Accomplished, inspired, awesome. Let's keep these ideas in mind. This is what you are here to do. This is what you are here to create. Healthy and fit. So C is for clear concept. Start to think of what ideas you want to make real. Even feeling accomplished is an idea that you can make real. So L, I'm going to just walk you through it real quick here. L is for legit and long lasting. How can we actually assure that this concept is going to happen and come to fruition? Is now the right time? E is for expanded energy. As we expand our own personal energy, we actually are able to laser focus, right? As professional women, we don't get more time in our day, but renewable resources like energy, yes, we can absolutely create our days to increase and expand our energy. A is for aspirational success. Like I just said, you just clarified what aspirational success would look like for you in the chat. And then R stands for rooted in success. I am somebody, I call myself a recovering perfectionist, type A, ambitious overachiever, hands up, my guess is we've got a handful of you guys here too today. When I would set a goal, I would hit the goal and then just move on to the next goal and then just move on to the next goal. And I never paused to give myself an opportunity to celebrate. So that's why this R is rooted in celebration. I am now a big believer in celebrating your big and small wins. And I'm going to share with you some ideas on how to do that too. So my invitation to you for this, for developing your clear concept to affirm why you are here, is to create this little affirmation statement for yourself. And many people roll their eyes when we start talking about affirmations or mantras, but this is why it's important. We are actually talking to your subconscious mind and giving it clues, right? When you wake up in the morning, for example, and you say, "Oh, I just did not sleep well. I am so tired." Your subconscious says, "Okay, cool, we're tired." Instead, if you wake up and say, "I am here to be energized and inspired today," your subconscious says, "Okay, cool, we're going to be energized and inspired." That's it. That's the connection that we're trying to make. So I'm going to share with you two clear concepts, two affirmations that I'm creating for myself. You can create big ones and small ones. So a big one for me is, I am here to be a light for myself and others to shine bright. I cannot help other people shine bright unless I'm shining bright myself. So I've got to do it for me first and then for others. So that's a big one for me in my business and how I show up, particularly as a mindset coach, right? You wouldn't hire a mindset coach who wasn't shining bright. Okay, so that's a big intention. A smaller one is, I am here to feel connected and have more fun with friends. So I've got a funny story about this. You know, we're coming out of the pandemic. What do I want to do? I want to meet more friends locally. I want to look for fun things to go do outside with them. And my girlfriend Suzanne was walking around the neighborhood. I saw her. She said, "Hey, Lisa, do you want to join a softball league that I host?" Okay, first off, never played softball in my life. Does it sound like it's like something that I would do? No, absolutely not. But is it outside? Yes. Is it with new local friends? Yes. Would it be fun to hang out with them and have a drink afterwards? Yes. So it was like ticking off all the boxes for me. So I said yes. So I am now on a softball team called Pitch Please. And I've got little shirts that say Pitch Please. We had our game on Monday. We lost 13-0. I touched the ball twice. So needless to say, it's not my jam, but afterwards, we all sat down in a little circle on the grass and had our little sippy cups full of wine. And I got to connect and have fun and make friends locally. So I created the opportunity to meet my clear vision. All right. So start to consider what large projects you want to do or create, but also small ones too. And as Barbara said, those are the ones you can start to say yes to. And when it doesn't align, those are the ones you say no, thank you to. All right, idea number 2, be in flow. So in the New York Times article, Adam Grant said, languishing is in the middle, right? When you aren't depressed, but you also aren't in flow and you're not flourishing. So how can we create flow? So these are tasks and activities that light you up, that make you feel just present, where you lose track of time. And this is why it's important. Creative people use flow to actually create like white space, open space in their mind, so more ideas can flow in. That's the idea there. And I am offering this to you because it's a way to expand your energy. So start to consider what hobbies or interests light you up. And consider also, you can do this personally and professionally. There's a book I recommend to many of my clients called The Big Leap, and it's by Gay Hendricks. And he talks about your zone of excellence and your zone of genius. Your zone of excellence has gotten you to where you are today. You are excellent at what it is you do. You've gotten your raises, your promotions, your accolades, but you actually might be languishing in your career. You might be a little bored or listless. So taking the big leap into your zone of genius, the questions he uses to help you find what that is are actually very much centered around finding your flow. What puts you into flow is going to be very different than what it puts other people into flow. So for example, I work with my clients who probably are very much like you. Their calendars are booked. They are professionals who, right, kind of like wish they had a hobby, but don't actually schedule time for a hobby. But we need to focus on this just for your personal leadership. So I have a client who lives in DC and she's a lawyer. and typically works a lot, like even through the weekends. But she loves to arrange flowers. So she makes it a priority to book time to get out of the house, to go to a flower shop, whether it's inside or outside. I think they were doing rooftop flower arrangements. I'm like, how beautiful is that? Actually, Barbara was talking about lilacs and the smell that's overwhelming here in the Chicagoland area. A great way to find how to be in flow, to allow your brain some time to rest, is to go outside, go on a walk, literally smell the flowers, right? It's a cliche, but I want to double dog dare you to do it and just let your brain relax a little bit. This is going to help you stay centered as we emerge into the pandemic. All right, number 3. We're going to redefine your routine on purpose. So with the pandemic winding down, now is the time to start to define who you are and how you want to show up post-pandemic, and most importantly, what your routine is going to look like. And this is important because personal and professional leadership is about how you lead yourself in tough times and in good times. And this is what it actually means to create your life from the inside out, to create it by your design, with your intention, and with your purpose. So in the chat, oh, Barbara, I'm glad you threw in that article. I love that. In the chat, think about and share, what is a habit or a ritual or something that you started to do during the pandemic that brings you joy, that you love doing, that you actually want to carry on and continue to do, because it is creating a sense of energy, excitement, peace, whatever it is, and however you want to feel. What's a habit or a ritual that you want to hold on to? Poems, ooh, love that one. Baking, walking the dog, writing, cooking, yoga, knitting. Yes, getting outside, 30-minute beach body, meditation. Yeah, for me, it's meditation. And I've got the Peloton app too. Going to the park after dinner. Oh, that's super sweet. I love that. Shopping. Oh, I was just texting with somebody about going shopping and trying on clothes. Oh, I love that. Seriously. Meditation. Yes. Okay. So this is my invitation to you right now. You got it. You just wrote it down. Book it in your calendar. Book it in your calendar, because if you don't, somebody else is going to book up the time for you, right? Our time is going to start to be pulled away from us. This is your moment to take these habits and rituals and put it into your calendar. Book it as a reoccurring meeting for yourself with yourself. Okay? I want you all to hold yourselves accountable to doing that, or ping me on LinkedIn and let me know that you did it. Okay? And so this redefining our routine moment, also start to think about when we went into the pandemic, we didn't have a choice. It was like one day we were here, and then like 2.5 days later, it was like we were pandemic shopping at Costco and then freaking out and watching way too much news. But now we get to choose, and the brain loves novelty. It loves new things. So start to consider, how can you weave in that flow and redefine your routine by creating new experiences, big or small, like my softball moment, right? Or flower arranging. Or we've got a list now of what everybody shared in the chat as well. And this is why that is so important. As you change things up, again, it's going to be signaling to your brain that, oh, growth mindset. Oh, we're going to be doing something new today. That's exciting. It's going to start to break you out of your routine, but it's because you're doing it on purpose with purpose. Okay, this is how you can actually create a life that is fulfilling and flourishing because you've created it and you're engaging with it on purpose. That is like the key right there. So let me see my next slide here. Let's recap. Okay, we've got affirming your clear concept. I am here to, and this is important because we're creating flow on purpose, big or small flow for creativity, flower arranging, softball, going outside, walking the dog, smelling the flowers. Let me know next time you smell a flower, okay? Engage your 5 senses. That's a really easy way to just create a little bit of white space for yourself in your day. And then redefine your routine with intention. Book it in your calendar. Book it in your calendar. It is your non-negotiable personal development, personal growth time. Okay? Nice.